So this is my first video I done made since I've been back from Nolans. And y'all might have thought I was just gonna investigate Cantrell. Hell no, small potatoes, baby. You always go for the head and the tail will drop off. So who is the most corrupt governor? Oh, that would be Jeff Landry with his dirty ass. I'm gonna tell y'all all about it in 11 minutes and 45 seconds. See, part of the thing about going to become a good lawyer is that you have to review cases and you have to gather evidence. And in this digital age, it's at your fingertips. You don't even have to go anywhere. I can sit on my couch and investigate who's a corrupt criminal, who the hell's going to jail. So I already knew the history behind state troopers and the state police and their connection with the governor. Most jurisdictions, the mayor appoints the chief of police rather than it being an elected position as it should. Like the sheriff is always an elected position. And so when Cantrell has 6 officers assigned to them for detail, while the rest of New Orleans has nobody, that's a clear indication of why there's so much crime and corruption and all that going on. Because I just was down there. I took videos and footage of all the houses still boarded up, all the buildings and churches with mold. Where's the money? It's gone. Everybody catching flights. Everybody want to go to concerts and lavish this and that off taxpayer money. It's not your vacation fund. It's not your child support. The government, the taxpayers is not just up for grabs. And so you always have to look beyond that because the mayor is just small fries. I mean, most jurisdictions have many towns and all parishes in Louisiana. So I already knew that, the Cantrell bitch that I call you soon as I got Nolans. So I'm here. And where is your career? It's gone. But let's look at the similarities between Cantrell and Jeff Landry. See, Jeff Landry also did the exact same thing that Cantrell did, which should have been done, catching flights with other people's money. But let's break down the difference. So on one hand, you say that it's taxpayer money, and that would make it illegal. So I looked up the law and I looked up the case, and Cantrell paid that money back, as they should have, because they shouldn't have never did what they did. But one of the things in law is that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So if you're doing the same thing, you should be in the same position. And correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not. Jeff Landry is under investigation. He is facing criminal charges as we speak for a number of things, such as voter suppression, because he actually won that election with the lowest turnout. That's how criminals do it. He also had a judge make a ruling. Now, the First Amendment means what? Freedom of speech. You can say what you want as long as you are not committing defamation of character, slander, libel. Anything that you say has to be proven, not just in a court of law, but actual factual. It has to be relevant. So whenever you do an investigation, you have to cite your sources. You have to make sure that they're reputable and that the information that you have is accurate and up to date. So before I just read something or watch something, I go look up the case. And I looked up all the cases earlier. That's how I know as well. And so with Landry, he was the attorney general. So let me explain about the role of the attorney general. They are the ones that prosecute for the state. Just like for a local jurisdiction, it would be the state prosecutor. They call them different names. But the role is the same, to protect the interest, uphold the Constitution, and to protect whose interests? Supposed to be the citizens, not the elected officials. Because with these positions that they are appointed, right, you cannot expect anyone to be unbiased against the person who signs their paycheck. They're on a payroll. So having worked in all these areas, I know how they get down to get down, how You can't ask them any questions. Did y'all like me trolling Cantrell? I going through Nons. I'm Mayor Cantrell. I don't give a damn about New Orleans. Look at me. I'm stealing all fucking money, bitch. Just shut up. Can't talk to me. I'm Cantrell, bitch. Everybody loved that shit. We had it, but it's all education. See, a lot of people think, oh, it's just a little show. Nope. It's actually to educate you. Because knowing that the state police, state troopers, they have been known historically for killing everybody, but particularly Black New Orleans people, natives, such as myself, such as my family, such as a lot of people. And you have to look at Hurricane Katrina. That's when all the identity theft and stuff started to happen. So let me explain how New Orleans is shaped. It's a bowl. It's shaped like a bowl. And we pump water out of something. What do you think is going to happen? It's going to start sinking. So New Orleans is sinking as we speak. Just like Manhattan is sinking as we speak. Because when people don't respect the environment, the climate, it's real. Climate change is real. Okay? If you mess around and put chemicals in the fertilizer and in the air and everything, you're gonna have erosion. You're gonna have mold. And you're gonna have sediments that start to wipe away. Why is it being allowed? You know, when I saw the homeless, I had to tell them, y'all not supposed to be out here. You're supposed to be in houses and homes. What is going on? And they pretty much told me the police harass them. They steal their stuff, abuse them, tell them they have to go to some drug program or go to some abusive shelter where they tell them you gotta pretty much just be a slave, take all this medication. And so at first you would be like, oh no, that shit is crazy. That could never fucking happen. But it's true. It happens in just like every jurisdiction. And so what is connected to mental health? The healthcare system. Who is Jeff Landry connected to? Healthcare fraud from California. These are the facts. And so when he says that the case for prosecution, the police are the lead on it, the police do not investigate criminal charges, okay? Let's break that down real quick. So you have many factors of law. Law enforcement officers have to go by the book. They have to go by the manual, right? There's certain sections in which they can allege that a person has committed a crime, right? Usually a detective will then further investigate. And if they determine that there's probable cause, then that case will be referred for prosecution. And that's normally through the prosecutor's office. Now, the prosecutor's office has an opportunity to either decline prosecution or go forward, which means they would actually bring forth formal charges, conduct a grand jury. You could be possibly indicted. And at that time, you would be brought forth before a council. And that council with a grand jury, when they indict you, they will determine whether or not you have met the criminal element of the statute of which you are charged. So that's why law is very technical and it's very specific with details. You have to pay attention to the details. And again, in the details, you'll find that Landry on April 6th, the same day with Mosley, gives a donation, declines prosecution, and comes out of his dirty mouth, oh, just because somebody gives me a check don't mean I will investigate. Excuse you? If somebody gave you a check, that's guaranteed you're not going to investigate them, dummy. Who the hell you must think you playing with? Maybe somebody don't know how it goes. Too bad, so sad. So you would think that would be the end of that. Absolutely not. So with freedom of speech, you cannot have a judge rule that a certain group cannot run a campaign ad. They have the right. It's freedom of speech. It's a political ad. If you have an issue with the context of what is stated, then you go to the courthouse and you file the necessary documents that you need to. So now he's accusing judges of being under investigation when he's the goddamn one under investigation. It's funny. He hasn't even been in office 6 months and he's already about to get recalled. So his answer he's been the attorney general. If the crime is so bad in the entire state of Louisiana, who's responsible for that? He is.